Captain Magnifico Bruno Fernandes on target as his Portugal beat Sweden. There is a lot more to talk about when it comes to the transfer speculations. Welcome to the United Hot Sport. My name is Webb, and here is all Manchester United news this day of yours. Well, let's get into it. Now, we know that we are in the international break and there is not action when it comes to club football, but our players are busy. Captain Bruno Fernandes continuing on the fine form he ended with at Manchester United, as he did score the third goal as his Portugal ran riot over Sweden. By half-time, his third goal was the last in that half, and it was 3-0. That's the captain, El Magnifico, who is not missing a minute of action, both for club and country. Certainly, it shows you how many lungs this player has had. He will fight for his club just the way he fights for his nation, and he continues to do so. Beautiful stuff to see. But the bigger update today concerning Manchester United will be about Casemiro, because as it is, remember, Casemiro is injured. He missed our last game against Liverpool, but we missed him, but he wasn't missed in action in terms of how we performed. But Casemiro, apparently things are heading south for him, and as it is, United are looking for a permanent solution to Casemiro, and we are looking at options. Now, we've talked about so many potential replacements, including expensive and not so expensive players. Now, the expensive look, the likes of Joao Neves and the likes, seem not to be possible if things are to stay as they are. Remember, the financial fair play man is not easy at all. They are investigating club per club, and guess what? Probably Manchester United is the only Premier League team that is not breaching any financial fair play rules, because almost all the other clubs, Nottingham Forest, Everton, Man City, I hear even Chelsea, so many clubs are facing the financial fair play man, and they're on the bad side of him. But United is a bit safe, so we might want to keep ourselves in the safe corner. And as it is reported, we may not have enough money to go for the big market players like Joao Neves. So apparently we have looked at options, and another option we're looking at, away from the Benfica young promising sensational midfielder Joao Neves, we are looking at another Joao, this time playing in a close club close to Man United in the Premier League, that is Wolves. Joao Gomes da Silva is the player that we are being linked with. There are reports suggesting now that United have zeroed down on the £40 million central midfielder to be the future replacement for Casemiro, who is certainly going to be leaving in the summer as it is now. Now, Neves is a player who came from Flamengo. He's Brazilian, fellow Brazilian like Casemiro. He came from Flamengo, joined Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he has played about 33 games for them, scoring just a few goals. But he is looked at as a promising young player. He's only 23, and perhaps, you know, he's one they look at as a possible a replacement for Casemiro, partner for Kobe Mainu in terms of the cheaper options, because like I said, he's rated at about £40 million. But Joao Neves, who should have been our first priority, is rated at about, is priced at about £100 million or even more by Benfica. And we know how these Portuguese clubs don't joke when it comes to their players. So that's the situation we're getting. Of course, we'll continue to follow that story. For me, honestly, I think that is, again, a poor man's solution. I mean, you always have to have plan A to plan D. So again, Erik ten Hag will have to suffer by not getting the players he would have preferred to have if he stays. Now, I'm saying if he stays because of my next story. Well, it is looking extremely serious that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are very interested in Gareth Southgate. Now, many of you will not be moved by that news, because I know many of you do not want Gareth Southgate. And honestly, I wonder why not so many of you want Southgate. The reality is, if we are changing the structure the way we are, honestly, the first priority should be to give time to Erik ten Hag, considering what he's doing at the club. But of course, you must have a plan in line as Ineos. But if we are bringing in a structure and we're bringing in Dan Ashworth, Omar Belhada, and all these guys, it doesn't surprise me that they're insistent on Gareth Southgate, because I told you that Manchester United is in the exact situation that Gareth Southgate and Dan Ashworth got England out of. So the plan for Ineos is simple. Just do the same. Try. They are tested, approved, done, trusted. They are tried and tested. They have done this before and changed English football. The two of them, and they are young guys. Why not bring them into this Man United and do the same? But also the fact that they are trying to create an identity of football that we clearly see is a little bit like Brighton, the way Brighton plays. So I think for me, the plan for Ineos is to bring in guys who have worked together because they believe maybe then it will be easy. So they have a structure, a template that's already in place, tested and worked before. Bring guys who have worked in it before. So for me, I think, and that's why when you look at all the managers we've been pointing at from Graham Potter, to the Brighton boss now, De Zerbi, then now Gareth Southgate, you look at guys who fit into what Dan Ashworth, the director of football, will want. Now, it doesn't surprise me. Would it be the worst of ideas? Well, I think it will all depend for me. I would judge Southgate and his ability to handle Man United on the way he plays Kobbie Mainoo, and I would judge him in these two friendlies and later on, of course, in the Euros, because he can never join Man United before the Euros. Of course, everything we think about to talk about should be after the Euros. But if he deploys Kobbie Mainoo in a better position and role as Erik ten Hag, then he has a big chance, because Kobbie Mainoo is going to be the linchpin on which the rebuild of Man United takes place. So it is important that we have a manager who will get the best out of Kobbie. A good Kobbie means a good and performing Man United. So it's a whole, big chain. And I think Kobbie has got a huge role in it. Erik ten Hag has shown what he can do with Kobbie. He has given him the first chance. I don't think he has yet given him the opportunity to play his best football. I liked what Southgate spoke about Kobbie before. Of course, people will judge Southgate based on what they saw at Middlesbrough, but I think that is unfair judgment on a manager, young manager like him. Judging him by his performances against Middlesbrough, I think is quite unfair. But me, I can look at him and what he has done with England under Dan Ashworth. They have made it look like a team that has got it in themselves to win titles. That alone is commendable. So I would choose Erik ten Hag over him. But if Ineos went for Gareth Southgate, I don't think it would be the worst news to my ears. I don't think it would be the worst. I would give him a chance, considering that if we have Dan Ashworth in place, the two were the masterminds of the England DNA that changed English football completely. Now that we are seeing these so many young players who are looking extremely talented. The thing is, Southgate has got experience with young players, mostly English players, and remember, the new rebuild, the new fulcrum of Man United is going to be full of English players. So Southgate has got a bit of respect in England in terms of how he has handled these so many young players, and its chances are that most of the young players who will come up are players he has met or worked with at some point before. So yes, for now I would want Ten Hag, but if Southgate came, I don't think we need to buy into a fall for this whole global hate speech going on around him. I think for me, I believe in chances. Give someone a chance, especially considering that we can all credit Southgate for how he and Dan Ashworth transformed England into the competitive England we are seeing, both men, women, and junior teams. They are playing consistently, identical football. Of course, with the senior team, people expect more, but I think these are unappreciative people, because England reached the semi-final of the World Cup. They were in the final of the Euro. They were almost winning it. They were playing decent football, very good football actually. They were exciting to watch. I don't think, for me, Southgate has performed as poorly as most of these English media want us to believe. For me, I don't accept. So it's not that bad, guys. Let's give him the chance. If Ineos believe in him, I'll back him. That's what I would do. If Ineos believes in Gareth Southgate, which is looking serious and likely from reports we get from legends of the club, from people close to Ineos, like Gary Neville and Roy Keane, Gary Neville especially, because he's part of the task force that was constituted by Ineos. I think, for me, we need to give him a chance, in all honesty. That's my honest take. Now, Kobbie, guys, don't you forget that you've got a chance to watch Kobbie Mainoo play for England in that friendly game against Brazil. There is no Bukayo Saka. He left the camp. Harry Kane is a huge doubt. He most likely won't play in that game. So it's a huge opportunity for Kobbie. And I know they don't play the same positions, but the fact that Saka is out, then that makes it easy for Southgate to drop in Kobe and figure out what he does with the rest and who replaces Bukayo Saka out wide. Beautiful stuff, guys. My name is Webb. This is the United Hotspot, a bit of an update of what happened today concerning Man United. I'll catch you again later. Cheers.